What's going on, guys? Welcome to my 5 things I hated about Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Now, if you haven't seen my last video that was 10 things I loved about Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, definitely go check that out. But if you haven't seen the movie at all yet, definitely go watch that before you watch either of these videos, because there is hella spoilers in both of them. So let's not waste any time jumping into this list. Number 5 is way too much CGI. And I already know that this is something that is said a lot about a bunch of Marvel movies, and the fanboys are already getting riled up and they're like, what do you expect them to do? Make a real Hulk? Make a real Iron Man suit? Bring aliens to film in the movie? No, that is not what I'm saying, and CGI can be a good thing. It has made some amazing movies with CGI, but there can be too much of a good thing, and definitely Infinity War has too much CGI. Like, I'm very surprised that Gamora and Nebula have not become fully CGI'd yet, and that is probably thanks to James Gunn. He's like, no, we're not going to do CGI. We're going to keep them in makeup. I'm not going to back off on that. So thank you, James Gunn, because I'm pretty sure that's something you would say. But yeah, I'm really surprised they have not become CGI'd, because Marvel, if they have a chance to CGI something, they are going to CGI something. Like I said, CGI is not a bad thing, but too much of it is just ridiculous. And I feel like that's how it's starting to be in these Marvel movies, specifically Infinity War, because nothing feels real anymore. Like, everything just feels computer generated. And what I mean is, like, with the children of Thanos, right? The children of freaking Thanos, some of them could have been makeup or prosthetics or whatever. You didn't need to fully CGI all of them. And, like, it would have made it feel a little bit more real. But they're like, no, let's go ahead and CGI all of these children of Thanos. Like, I feel like that's the thing Marvel, maybe Disney, whoever's in charge over there, that's their idea. They don't want to do anything. They're just like, nah, you know what? We're just going to CGI everything. Screw it. We don't need to worry about it. Blah, 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 blah. And that totally sucks, because anytime you can make something look real, you should. And I think they could have done that with these villains, specifically the chick and the old dude that was going after Doctor Strange. Those two characters could have easily been makeup, and I think that would have been really cool, but they decided to go full CGI, and it just doesn't look as good. But yeah, that was one of my biggest things. I thought there was too much CGI in the movie. I just wish that they would kind of have this nice balance of CGI, prosthetics, and stuff like that. Kind of like Star Wars did in The Force Awakens. They had a good balance in that movie. It didn't seem too overly CGI'd, but hey, what can you do? Number 4 is something I did really hate about this movie, and that is that we didn't have freaking Hulk. Yes, you can tell me that we had Hulk at the start of the movie where he fought Thanos and he got his ass kicked by Thanos, but then when he went into his freaking, like, didn't want to come out and he's like, no, Hulk, no, Hulk, no. When he was being a freaking baby and didn't want to join the fight, like, that got me kind of annoyed, because I wanted to see freaking the Hulk in this movie. I wanted to see him in the final battle just beating up aliens and just fighting all of the big dudes and fighting all the big freaking wheel monster things that they were dropping at the end. Like, I just wanted to see Hulk kicking some ass in this movie, and we didn't get that. Now, I know it's all for a purpose, and they're probably going to have him come out in some super heroic way in part 2, and he's going to probably, you know, show up when Black Widow's about to die, or if she dies or whatever, and he's going to show up and save her life and then kick everybody's ass, because that's probably how they're going to save him. Or he's going to jump out of a freaking helicopter and slam on a freaking bridge and just not do anything. I hated that part of Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, I get that they're probably saving him for some epic entrance in part 2, but still annoyed me, because I really wanted to see him on the battlefield, and he was actually in the freaking trailers of the original trailer that dropped for Infinity War, but now he's just magically gone and not in the movie. Number 3, and this one really bothered me about this movie, was Thanos freaking caring. Like, oh my god, that annoyed me so much. Every scene with Thanos and Gamora of him being like, oh, you don't know, child, and blah, 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 like, that annoyed me. I don't want Thanos to care about anybody. Like, I just want him to care about himself and do his own thing. But him trying to have these, like, emotional scenes with Gamora and crap, hated it. I didn't like it. I don't want a caring villain. And, like, I know man, it's character building, bro. Like, that's how you build a character. No, you don't need to have these emotional moments with villains. You just got to make villains super badass. Yes, they can have motivation and all that jazz, and we'll talk about that later. I hated his motivation as well. But still, like, carrying Thanos was just not... I hated it. I just did not like this freaking Thanos that was trying to have relationships with Gamora and then, oh, I love you and I gotta kill you. I hated it. I just super hated it. All I wanted out of this movie was a badass Thanos that kicked everybody's ass, and, you know, he didn't care about anything. He just wanted to beat your ass and show you that he was so much better than you and that he was a super villain and that he was just gonna kill everybody because he could. Number 2 on the list of things I hated was none of the OGs died. Did you guys realize that? None of the OG Avengers died after Thanos snapped his fingers. Like, you would have thought that one of them would have died, because Thanos did say that there was no special privilege in the way he was going to kill half of the population or whatever. It was just going to be random. But, you know, they just so got lucky that none of the OG Avengers died. Like, that kind of bothered me. They could have had, like, Cap or Iron Man or Black Widow or Hulk or somebody, you know, freaking turn to dust. And I know that they had, like, Bucky. He wasn't really an original Avenger. And then people would be like, oh, well, Nick Fury kind of started the Avengers. I wouldn't really count him as an Avenger. He's not really in the fight or anything, you know what I mean? I know they probably wanted to come full circle because we had Avengers 1, and they probably want to have the next movie be, you know, predominantly just the original Avengers, and some of them are going to die in the next movie, and that's why they're going to be there. I get that, but still, just, you know, from a standpoint of all these random characters getting killed, you thought one of the OGs would have died. Come on. And at the top of the list of the things I hated about Marvel's Avengers Infinity, at number 1 is Thanos' freaking motivation in this movie, because I thought it was completely stupid. And I know this is where some of the fanboys are going to hate on me and they're going to talk crap or whatever they're going to do, but I just thought his motivation, one, from the comic book, is way better. They're not following the comic books. They're trying to do their own things different. Stop coming. Yes, I get that. I know they're doing still stuff different, but his freaking motivation still didn't make sense. During the movie, we found out Thanos' species, or, you know, whatever, his alien race, died because there was too many of them and there wasn't enough resources, and he came up with the idea of, like, if we kill half of everybody, we'll be totally cool. And that's his motivation on why he wants to get all of the Infinity Stones. He wants to wipe out half of the universe because he knows eventually resources are gonna be gone and everybody's just gonna end up starving to death. So he's like, let me just go ahead and do it for you guys. Let me rid half of these people, and I'm doing a really good thing because a lot of people won't suffer in the future. And I know some people are gonna bring up the idea, well, like, you know, villains aren't really villains in their minds. They think they're doing good and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that is a good theory, but it still doesn't make sense with the means that Thanos has. He's able to wipe out half of the universe in a snap of a finger. Well, yo, Thanos, you can do anything with the Infinity Gauntlet. Why snap out half of the freaking universe when you can just snap out infinity freaking resources? Literally nobody needs to die with Thanos' plan. Like, I know that's his big thing. Like, he just, I don't know, it was just dumb when I was thinking about it after the movie. Like, I was shocked that everybody died, but at the same time, I was like, his motivation is pure crap. And again, it doesn't make me hate Thanos for the reasons I should hate him. I hate him because I think his plan is stupid, but I don't hate him because he's super villainous and it's like, oh my god, I just want the heroes to kick his ass. So going back to the comic book that a lot of people were like, all of that, his motivations in the comic book is he just wants to wipe out half of the universe to please death. That's it. That's pretty villainous in my opinion. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill people to please this person that I'm infatuated with and all that jazz. So yeah, I don't really care about y'all. I want to kill all of y'all because I'm trying to impress this person over here. Now, I did talk to my resident Marvel fanboy best friend Zen Argo about this topic, and he did let me know that in the comic books, the Infinity Stones do have limitations to their powers, and they wouldn't be able to create infinite resources, which totally makes sense because comic books have way more information than their movie counterparts. But I did let him know that nowhere to my knowledge in the MCU have they ever talked about the Infinity Stones having limitations. Yes, I do know that each Infinity Stone does have like its own kind of power, you know, going in time, you know, warping reality or whatever. But, you know, from what they've kind of put out there, it seems like once they're all on the gauntlet, they can do whatever they want. Kind of like wiping out half of the universe. I do want to put this out there. I have no problem with being wrong about this. So if there is proof that in the MCU they have talked about the limitations of the Infinity Stones, that it wouldn't be able to create things, it can only take them away, then totally send it to me on Twitter because I have no problem with being wrong. You just got to show me the evidence. But from just being a viewer of these movies, I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere. And they could easily just, you know, fix that with a line or two that, yeah, the Infinity Stones, when they're all together, they can take away things, but they can't create them. It would make sense if somebody says it because like, all right, they said it, it's cool, it's in the movie. But at the same time, when you're just thinking about it, it's just kind of weird that you could warp reality, you can go back in time or forward in time, but you wouldn't be able to make a few extra pizzas. Like, you know, it's kind of just like, I don't really buy it. So yeah, that is my biggest hatred for this movie, is this Thanos' motivation doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. They had the Goddess of Death. They could have used freaking Helena from Thor Ragnarok for Thanos' motivation. Like, he just wanted to impress her. Like, she's killed so many people. Maybe he was infatuated with her. Maybe they didn't think the story would make sense that way, and I get that, but it would have been comic book accurate, and at the same time, it would have just been villainous. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill you guys because why not? Ugh. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what you thought about Thanos' motivation in this movie, and let me know any other things you hated in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Like I said, guys, if you haven't seen my 10 things that I loved about Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, definitely go check that out in case you think that, like, oh my god, this guy's just hating. No, I actually loved a lot of things about the movie, so go watch that video after this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I am going to have more Marvel-related videos on this channel in the near future. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you don't miss when those videos arrive. Also, because apparently the subscribe button is complete trash without notifications on. But as always, guys, I am your host, JUICEBOX. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time.